Hey, hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session of live counter review with technical analysis. So for today, the flow will be similar as per past sessions. First, I'll go through the US economic calendar. Then afterwards, I'll talk about the indices, commodities, then dive into some of the sectors like the FAANGM, US Bank, Semicons, and EVs. Then last but not least, I'll talk about the counters that you all have in the Q&A. Okay, so without further ado, I'll begin. First up for economic calendar tonight, we have some important data, which is the S&P Global Composite PMI, which consists of the manufacturing as well as services. So that's out at 9:45 p.m. shortly after the market opens. So that's something to look out for. Then afterwards, there's some FOMC members speaking as well. Wall Street speaking at 1:45 a.m. Then you also have uh, Fed Vice Chair for Supervision Bar speaking at around 3:10 a.m. Going to tomorrow, we have building permits. That's at 8 p.m. Then you also have FOMC member Kugler speaking at 40 p.m. Uh, then tomorrow, we also have the Williams also speaking at 9:05 p.m. And something important, I think, will be the consumer confidence. That's out at 10 p.m. tomorrow. And new home sales also out at 10 p.m. Okay, going to Wednesday, so FOMC member Williams speaking to the 5 a.m. You have API crude oil stock at 4:30 a.m. on Wednesday. Afterwards, durable goods at 8:30 p.m. Crude oil inventories at 9:30 p.m. as usual. And FOMC member Kashkari speaking at 10 p.m. Atlanta Fed now GDP Wednesday 11:30 p.m. So that's important as well. Going to Thursday, the usual stuff, jobless claims at 8:30 p.m. Then you have GDP, that's at 8:30 p.m. as well. Okay, then afterwards, some retail inventories data 8:30 p.m. as well. Friday will be the important one, which is the core PCE data, which is out at 8:30 p.m. So that's the important one, followed by Michigan inflation and consumer expectations. That's at 10 p.m. So I would say throughout the whole week, this week, quite a lot of important data that's coming out, whether it's PMI data, PCE data, or Atlanta Fed, the consumer confidence, all these quite a lot of important data points coming out this week to take note. Okay, that's it for the data. I'll move on to the indices and commodities. Okay, so first I'll talk about Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin, I think we could see a bit of a rebound in the short term. Because I see like there's a bit of a slight breakout taking place currently. So previously, price was finding resistance along this downwards resistance line over here, and also I think it's around the 20-day MA as well. But on over the weekend on Sunday, there's some strength where last Wednesday, price tried to break above this the resistance at 84K. Subsequently, this managed to hold as a support. So continue to form higher lows along the way, and also break above the trend line yesterday, Sunday. And today is trading higher as well. So I think we could still continue to see a bit of a strength in Bitcoin in the short term to maybe perhaps retest like closer to 90K level. So this 90K level is another point where there's another trend line resistance in the past over here that could act on it. So that's my take. I think we could see some slight further rebound for Bitcoin in the short term. Then over here, then if it hits this level, then we might see a bit of a sideways consolidation gain. But with higher lows being formed, possibly along this trendline support. So that's for Bitcoin. Now I'll talk about indices next. So first up is Dow Jones. So Dow Jones, I think all the three indices are actually quite similar. Dow Jones last week started to sideways over here. Positive thing was that higher low being formed at around 41,400, and then in terms of the closing, it was above this key level around 41.8K, which was a previous breakdown level over here. So I think I will expect some rebound in the short term. So in terms of the short-term resistance next will be around 42.5K, which was this breakdown level over here. And then the next recent hour will be around 43K. So probably I'll be looking at this zone next in terms of the short-term rebound. Yeah, for Dow Jones. So that's for Dow. Then for Nasdaq, also similar. You see over here, price action kind of sideways last week. Higher lows start to form, and then closing was also above the 5 and 10 day short-term moving averages. Then in terms of, if when I zoom out the chart, right, it's also holding along this black trendline support over here. So I will expect some rebound this week to test some of the breakdown levels in the past, like 18.1K is one level over here. Then the next level upwards perhaps will be around 18.4K, which is the 200-day MA level, which previously it break down. So I will expect some rebound towards 18.1 to 18.4K area. So 18.4K is also, I think, important because it would be this blue color channel breakdown level. So previously, index, the uptrend itself, the price was trading within this blue uptrend. So now, after this breakdown over here, I think if it does retest 18.4K around here, it's also the channel breakdown level plus the 200 MA. So I think will be quite important resistance for Nasdaq in the short term. Yeah, so that's for Nasdaq. For S&P, I think also similar. So you see all three indices kind of similar kind of price action. So I'll expect some rebound this week. Possibly is currently trading this bearish flag over here in orange as well. So short-term resistance probably around like 5730 to about 5,800, most probably around this area. Also 200 MA level is at around 5750 as well. So 5750, I think this one might be an important resistance to about 5,800. Once this is the 200 MA level, and then also the uptrend channel breakdown test that could happen. So previously price was trading within this uptrend channel itself. After the breakdown, if it does a retest at 5,000, I think this will be important resistance. Yeah. So all three indices are expecting some sort of rebound this week to retest some of the breakdown levels that happened during this sell down. Then next one I'll talk about is gold. Gold still very strong, but I think it's quite high now at the up channel resistance. So that's starting to see a little bit of perhaps a little bit of sideways start to form as price is below the 5 MA now. So short-term support, I would think it's around 10-day MA, close to 3,000 level. Then next lower support probably 2980 about there. So I think it might do maybe a bit of sideways in the short term. Then resistance is about like 3,030 to about the recent high around 3,060 about that. So it might do some consolidation at the resistance area for now. Next one I'll talk about is also oil. I'm expecting a bit of rebound as well. So it was trading in this consolidation over here between like 65 to about 68. Then recently there's a break above the 20 MA resistance over here. Also like higher lows being formed recently. And price is also starting to, in the short term wise, it's holding the 5 and 10 day MA. So then on Thursday, Friday, has a break above. So possibly some short-term rebound. In terms of resistance, I think probably around 70, around close to 70 to 71 area probably is a resistance from this trend line resistance. Also, this was the breakdown level in the past. So maybe some short-term rebound for oil as well. Okay, then next one is VIX. Okay, I think VIX, what's supporting the current rebound is also VIX is below 22. So 22 was an important level resistance. Then during this, the sell down, it will climb above 22. Currently, there was a break below 22 as well, and also below the 5-day MA as well. So I'm expecting VIX to come down slightly in the short term, probably towards a retest of this next support level around 17.7. Yeah, about 16 to about 17.7 this area. So this is the next support area for VIX. So when it comes to this area, then we might see the indices have some volatility again. Then short-term resistance for VIX, I think probably around 20.3 to about 22 this area. Yeah, so VIX could come down a bit slightly in the short term, I feel. Okay, then next one is copper. So copper, this one still having a very strong trend over here. Price is holding above 5-day MA. Also above this, around testing the swing high 5.18 previously. So over here, I think next recent probably from here to about 5.3 next. Then in terms of short-term supports, probably around like 5 to 5.08 about here. So yeah, so still very strong short-term trend for copper. So that's roughly for the indices and commodities. Okay, I'll talk about the first sector, which is the Magnificent Seven now. So for Magnificent Seven, I think I thought this Max Roundhill's Magnificent Seven ETFs just as a proxy to the index. So short term wise, I think we can see price since price is starting to stabilize. So trading outside of this short-term downward channel over here, also holding support around $46. And then in terms of moving averages, also last Friday closed above the 5 and 10-day averages. So I will expect some rebound to take place, but I think near-term resistance will still likely to hold. So some of the resistance probably come around the 200 MA level. That's around close to $48. $48.80. Yeah, so there's some resistance. There could be some resistance following the breakdown over here to about $50. So $48.80 to about $50 is the zone I'm looking at for possible resistance. So perhaps some bounce, then I think you will likely find some resistance over here, then it might continue the downwards pressure again for the Magnificent Seven. Okay, so that's it for the index. I'll talk about the individual counters next. Okay, first up is Meta. So for Meta, I think hit an important support level. So is this a trend line support in the past over here? And then currently possibly in this downtrend channel over here, then I think could start to see a bit of it's trading out. So now pre-market is trading above the channel resistance. So short-term wise, I think possibly some resistance could be like closer to about this level around 620 to 630, this area, I think, because previously this was a breakdown level, it did a retest before going lower. So this is the one level resistance, also near 20 MA as well as the 100 MA as well. So that could be a short-term resistance. Then, so I think we'll do a bit of slight rebound towards this level. Then we might consolidate in the range above again for Meta. Then for next one is Amazon. So Amazon, I think also the chart wise is quite similar. Also the downtrend channel over here, then price starting to sideways, also close above the trendline resistance on Friday. So currently it's pre-market around $200. So 200 is a level which was a resistance in the past. So over here, I think possibly there might be some resistance over here first. But if you can climb above it, I think that because this $200 is also the 200-day MA level, so you might do so now it's probably going to do a retest of here. They might still see a bit of resistance now. So I think you might still see a bit of sideways, but over there, if you can close above this level, then we might see some further rebound. I think next resistance will be 207. So 207 was also a breakdown level over here in the past. So that's for Amazon. Then for Apple, Apple, this one, it's holding sideways as well. Currently, it's still below the key level of 219 about there. But I think we could see some short-term rebound because, currently it's holding close above 5 and 10-day moving averages over here. Yeah. So and I think we could see some slight rebound, possibly towards 226, which was a breakdown level over here, near to 20 MA level, which was a resistance here. And then this also could be a retest of the 200-day MA at this purple line over here. So yeah, I think possible short-term rebound to test this key resistance close to 226, 227, this level. Okay, then next up for Netflix. Yeah, for Netflix, this one is still one of the strong one. So this one, you can see it's very much above the 5 and 10-day moving averages, just consolidating higher highs and higher lows. So in terms of the next, I think if you can break above the resistance of last week, which is around 967, the next it could retest some of the higher levels like this is around 995 to about 1,000 this area over here. So possible some slight further rebound together with the other Magnificent Seven counters. Yeah, so as long as holding above, continue to hold above 900 44 around this combination of the 5 and 20-day MA levels, as well as the previous breakdown level over here, like 950, I think, could continue to see a bit of a bounce ahead. And for Google, this one still a bit weaker because you can see this one was one of the counters that closed in terms of closing still below the 5 and 10-day averages, but in terms of the larger picture, it's also at a key trendline support level. So possibly will likely bounce a bit as well. In terms of resistance wise, I think short-term resistance probably it could test is 168. 168 is this level over here. There was a gap. There's a bit of gap from the sell down, also near 20-day MA. After 168, I think 173 lah. So this one, I think 168 should be able to hit, but 173, I think still needs to see some further strength. If you can hold 168, then possibly some slight further rebound towards 173, where there's swing high resistance, also 200-day MA resistance. So for Google, looking a bit weaker in terms of chart as compared to the rest. Then I think last counter I'll talk about is Microsoft. So this one also just sideways, but some positive thing is that managed to close above this short-term trendline resistance as well as 5 and 10 MA levels. Also, yeah, so I think also at above the 20 lah. So I think we could see some further rebound towards like 400 is the next key level, this swing high over here. Also a psychological level. Yeah, and above 400, I think next key level will be around 407, 408. Yeah, so that will be if you can hold 400, then there might be some further rebound upwards. But I think these are the key levels to note for Microsoft. So in terms of the FAANGM or Magnificent 7 sector, I think we should see a bit of a rebound in this week. But I think probably in terms of index wise, when I look back just now, I think if it does test the 200 MA level, which I think was a bit of resistance, that's probably about 3% plus upside. Then over here, you might see some resistance back again. So that's some slight rebound this week probably some slight rebound this week for the counters. Then next one I'll talk about is the financials ETF. So I'll start first with the XLF, the SPDR Financial Sector Fund. So for this one, last week continued just climb, continue to do a rebound and some sideways, but positive is that for now it's holding this $49 level, which was also a key level over here. So I think as of now, pre-market getting up. So I think if we can clear this resistance, most likely we see a further rebound upwards towards like the $50.70 level. So 50.70 over here was around here was a previous range resistance. Range support breakdown. Yeah, they could turn into resistance. So maybe some slight further bounce upwards, then we might see resistance coming again. Then maybe the index will start to do a bit of sideways consolidation. Yeah, but I think as long as you see the XLF continue hold above 49, I think for the short term could still go up a little bit. Yeah. Okay, then I'll talk about the 4 US banks. So first up is the JP Morgan. So yeah, JP Morgan, this one also for now rebounding from the trendline support. Also currently just above the 5 and 10-day moving averages as well. There's some resistance for last week was 242. I think this week wise, I think it could do a further rebound, but key resistance probably around 247, which 100-day MA. Also close to the previous, also like this was a previous horizontal level breakdown in the past, near the 20-day MA. So this might be the next short-term resistance level, after which probably is around 252. Yeah, so probably some near-term rebounds towards possibly these two resistance levels. Then we might see it come down again. Yeah, also short-term wise, I think possibly break out of this downtrend resistance line. So possibly some bounce ahead towards this zone leading to around 247 to 253. The next one I'll talk about is Bank of America. So for Bank of America, I think this one also last week, as of last week, it was retesting this $42.50 breakdown level, hit this previous swing low, then the breakdown currently doing a retest. Positive is that still holding about the 5-day MA. So some resistance last week is 42, around $42.70. I think this week can clear, then we might see some further rebound ahead towards the next resistance, probably around $44. $44 was like the previous swing low breakdown level here in the past. That I think was still as a resistance. So I'm expecting a trend of probably lower highs, probably still likely to hold. So 44 might be a resistance over here for this week for Bank of America. Then next one is Wells Fargo. Yeah, for Wells Fargo, this one, also doing a bit of a rebound since it reclaimed the $69 level upwards, still holding above the 5 MA for now. I think we could see some further rebound as well towards 74.70 next. 74.70 probably is a resistance from the breakdown in the past over here. Then next one above is probably around $76.80 about it. Yeah, so that's the next levels to take note for Wells Fargo. We might see a rebound, but most probably some lower highs will be formed from this down wave over here. Yeah, I think last but not least, Citigroup also similar pattern. So you can climb if you can hold go above $73, then I think we might see some further rebound towards some levels like 76.80. This will be a resistance from the previous consolidation breakdown level. Yeah, so that's for the banks. So looking in terms of the XLF here just now, I think some bounce wise from last Friday level, possibly maybe like 2% bounce to actually in terms of the index wise to maybe retest the previous range breakdown level over here. Yeah, so that's for the financials. Oops, sorry. Okay, then next sector I'll talk about is the semicons. So semicons. Yeah, so semicons still holding a bounce from the 4,300 key level over here, which is previous 2 times last year when there was a dip in the index, then it rebounded from this level. So currently still doing a bit of rebound over here. So I think for this, some short, it was still a bit weaker when you look in terms of the compared to the Magnificent 7 as well as the financial, because in terms of index wise, you can see is was slightly below the 5 MA on Friday. Yeah, so I think this one possibly I think in terms of rebound will be probably lower magnitude. I will expect some resistance to hold at last week's highs around 4,700 to possibly 4,800. This level, this area. So 4,800 was a previous strong support that had broke down at the end of February. So if it does retest this will be a strong resistance for the semicon sector. So I think 4,700 to 4,800 will be a resistance for some rebound. Then short term support probably come from the swing goes around here 4,465 about there. So yeah, in terms of rebound, if it can hit 4,800, possibly like 4+%, 5%. Yeah, so I think that's the most for the semicons, for the semicon index. Yeah, since overall it's it's overall one of the weakest sector this year. Okay, now I'll move on to the individual counters. First one is NVIDIA. Yeah, so for NVIDIA, I think last week we had a bounce towards the 20 MA as well as this trendline breakdown level at 123. Then it hit a bit of a pullback over here. Then subsequently, rest of the week was just mostly sideways, but currently holding at the 10 MA level at 115. So a bit of a rebound. I think this week you can go above 100. Currently it's about 100, close to 120 pre-market. So I think we could see some slight rebound this week. 123 will likely still be a bit of resistance from the swing high last week, as well as this trend line resistance. So that's one resistance. Then the next resistance level I think will be probably around 127. So 127 for now, it's this 50-day as well as 200-day MAs over here. So I think that will be quite a big resistance. So I'm expecting resistance for the rebound between 123 to 127 over here for NVIDIA. So that's for NVIDIA. And then for Amazon, sorry, it's not Amazon. For AMD, I think it's a bit better in terms of the trend, possibly coming out of this downtrend channel over here. Yeah, so also holding a few days above the 104 resistance over here lah. So also this one a bit stronger than Nvidia in the short term as well, or holding at the 5-day MA level. So I think if we see some further rebound, we could possibly see the index come towards some resistance will be around 110 to about 115. I think 110 will be the 50-day MA. Then 115 was a previous key support level breakdown that turned to resistance. So I think this will be still a very strong resistance for AMD in the short term, 115. Yeah, so I think possibly some rebound as well, but 110 to 150 will be the resistance. Okay, for TSM, this one also starting to look better. Coming out from this downtrend resistance line after turning side, then moving sideways for now, holding about the 5 and 10-day moving averages. So I think if you can cross above the 20-day MA, currently around close to 178, then we could see some slight further rebound towards I think the key resistance would be around 183 for TSM, because this was a swing. There was a swing high over here, as well as this would retest the 200-day MA. So it might go, this would be a resistance, and it might just do some sideways consolidation range over here. So that's what I feel for TSM. Okay, then next one I'll talk about is ASML. So ASML also, this one is looking better as well. Last week was trading sideways, but holding higher low, around 711, also still above this downward resistance line. So I think we could still see, I think most likely just range consolidation lah. Continue to be a range consolidation, because it's still got a lot of resistance at around 750 this level. So then support is currently around 720. So possibly just trading within this area, yes, which is mostly has been doing in the range in the past as well. So I think we could see a bit of a range over here. Okay, and then for Marvel, this one, very tight range from the candles you can see over here. But positive thing is that holding at the 5 and 10-day MA's level. So some resistance last week was the $71 level as well. I'm expecting some rebound as well for this. Some short-term resistance, I think, will probably be around $76 to $78. 76 was a gap down, the highest after this gap down from the earnings that time. Then around the 20-day MA might still be a bit of resistance, which be acting as a bit of resistance over there in the past. So it might do some rebound towards 76. Then most likely just trades a bit of sideways afterwards. Yeah. Okay, then I'll talk about two more, which are Broadcom as well as Intel. So Broadcom, this one, currently holding sideways at this trendline support over here. Then I think, yeah, there's a bit of some strong resistance for now, be around 196, 197. So that's some resistance. And next resistance will be around 202. I think that's the 100-day MA level. So I will expect Broadcom probably a bit of a consolidation still at some of these levels, and between 197 202 might just do a bit of sideways as well. And then last but not least, Intel, one of the stronger names currently. So Intel, I think for now, the good thing is that this $23, 23.20 level is a key level, because this was previously in the past it was resistance support. Then also here during the up wave over here, this acted as a bit of support before coming back down. Now it's coming back up after the gap up. You can see $23. This is also holding around here. So this is around the 10-day MA as well. So I think this will still hold as a support for this week. Yeah. So I think if you can get back above the 5-day MA resistance, currently around 24.80 as well, which was which this level is around the Friday, the highs of last Friday, then I think we could see it go upwards again towards to retest maybe 26 to 27.50 this area again. Yeah, so I think Intel will be something to look out for again as well this week. As long as trading above the 10 MA, I think there's still a chance for it to try to form a high again to retest last week's highs. Yeah, so that's it generally for the semi-cons. I think probably looking better ones probably now is Intel as well as AMD in terms of the relative strength. Then last but not least, I'll talk about some of the EV counters before I go into the individual counters that you have. So first up, Tesla. I think Tesla starting to show a bit of some strength last Friday from it breaking above this $238 level, the 5 and 10 MA resistance, which had been acting along the way when it was downwards. So some rebound, but currently pre-market is about up around $10. I think some resistance level to watch out will be a retest of this trendline resistance. This trendline, which was a support in the past, that will act as a resistance, I feel. Probably around close to 270. 270 over here previously, before the elections, right? 270 over here was a key resistance as well. So I think if it does come back to this level, it will likely form a bit of a resistance. Yeah, so that's for Tesla. Then above 270, next resistance maybe at around 283, 284, which is a 200 MA level. Yeah, so for Tesla, I think in the short term wise this week, I think maybe 270 will be some resistance, because this was the resistance in the past. We have this retest of the broken trend line, as well as this is the breakdown of the consolidation previously during the sell down. So yeah, so maybe some perhaps rebound to this level, that we might see a pullback again over here. Okay, then some of the other counters is Xpeng. So Xpeng, I think this one's losing a bit of momentum for now, because previously in its upwave, price has actually trended quite well, holding at least a 20-day MA. But last Thursday, Friday, I think starting to lose this momentum, this level. So we might see a bit of a slight further pullback from this level. I think short-term support probably still holding around $19.50 this swing over here. So it might turn to maybe a bit of a consolidation kind of pattern. Then resistance probably above like $23 to about $24, $24.30 over here for now. Okay, then I'll talk about NIO. So NIO, this one, I think mostly just still very range bound. So since the spike above 490 reached the previous resistance like $5.30 over here, then it came back down again. Then I think after the earnings, as we have a gap down, so it might come back down towards like some of the old support levels. So I think because it's largely still in the range over here. Yeah, let me just redraw some of the levels. Yeah, so it might just come back to the old range. Like previously, this 440 is a key level, then the next key level is around $4. So we might just come back down to this area again, then continue previously the very long sideways counting. Okay, then last counter I'll talk about is Rivian. So Rivian, this one starting to look sideways over here. Might see some rebound, but I think still likely to face some resistance around like $12, $12.30. This previous breakdown level into resistance. So overall, I think downtrend will still likely continue for this. Yeah, just a bit of a bounce to retest on the support term resistance over here. Okay, that's it for the sectors and okay, I'll move on to the Q&A that you all have. Okay, hi, BY, accountants BMY, T, and Celsius. With first one, BMY is Bristol Myers Squibb. Okay, Bristol Myers Squibb, I think this is looking better in the short term. So previously this $60 was a very strong resistance over here. Then price was consolidating over here. Price did a breakout, came back to do a retest. And currently it's still holding above that. So I think that's still positive. Also above some of the moving averages over here. So I think as long as you hold last week's lows, like around $59.50, around there, I think we could still see some rebound in the short term. Yeah, so short-term return will be the highs around 63 for now. We might see some like sideways consolidation. Yeah, but I think overall, it could still move higher than that long in the bit where you stretch out the time frame now, because it was previously in downtrend and then there's a bit of a reversal. Then after such a long consolidation, they pop above 60 again. So I think 63 will still be a real resistance in the short term, but afterwards, if you can hold higher lows, then I think there's still a chance for higher highs to be formed. But this one need a bit, I think just need a bit of time, I think. Yeah, and see how it goes. But for now, it still looks okay as long the resistance and the support still holds. Then for T, it's AT&T. So AT&T, this one also looking quite strong. It's previously this trend line resistance was currently is trading above it and turned into a bit of support. So now key support is around 26. And for now, short term looks like a bit of consolidation with since the highs over here around 20, close to 28, high volume, then price from a bit of a lower highs as well as lower low, but for now starting to reverse, I think possibly as a price is holding above some of the moving averages. So I think as long as you can hold like 26.50, like around here, possible flag over here. So if you can hold this, then break above some of the highs, like 27.20, I think possibly we could see it go up to test like the recent highs again, around to close to 28 over here. So might do another sideways in the short term. Then for Celsius, yeah, Celsius, this one, nice rebound for this. So price consolidate, broke above the resistance at this 29, then continue to trade above the 5-day MA over here. So some strength also increased volume recently as well. So I think possibly you could still see the momentum go on a bit to retest some of the resistance recently around $34.40, which is this post results high. Then the next key resistance probably around 35.70, which was previously this strong horizontal resistance. So yeah, it might continue a bit of momentum to retest these swing high levels. Yeah. And afterwards might consolidate sideways. Okay, the next counters is MSI and SMH and Intel, which Intel I covered earlier. So for Motorola solution, I think this one possibly some slight recovery in the short term as a price previously there was a breakdown below this 418, then came to retest the support level around 410, doing a bit of recovery, holding some of the so last week was like a basically sideways still holding above the short-term moving averages like 418, 422. So I think if you can break above the highs of last week, like 425, then I think I'll see possibly some rebound to test some of the next recent level, possibly around 438, which is this level. So it might just do a bit of a sideways in over here. Yeah, so possibly some rebound in the short term. Also, could get above the 20-day MA, so maybe some rebound. Then for SMPH, I think it tracks the Semicon ETF. This is the VanEck Semicon ETF, so it tracks the index. So overall, this one similar to the Philadelphia Semicon index in terms of price action. I think if can some resistance possibly at 21231, key resistance still at 237. So I think it might see a bit of a sideways over here first. If can get above 231, then it might go on to attempt 237, the next resistance. Yeah, so I think possibly some rebound over here in the short term. But yeah, still likely to continue the lower high, the trend of lower high form. I think from this very strong 237 previously was a very strong support. I think now will be a very strong resistance. So that's for That's for SMH. Next one is on Eli Lilly, CRM, Moderna, Novo Nordisk, and Adobe. Okay, for Eli Lilly, I think it did a back test this trendline resistance. Also this horizontal resistance level around 117. Currently doing a bit of rebound. So I think short term, because of the short term resistance for now will be possibly around 857, 860 this level over here, which is around the 200 ME level. Also, it was like a breakdown over here. So I think short term wise, you also have the 20-day MA coming down, possibly a resistance as well. So I think there might be some bounce towards this level. Toward 860, there might be a resistance again. Then I think you might consolidate a bit afterwards. Yeah, for Eli Lilly. Then short-term support, I think will be around 835, quite a good support level over here. Okay, the next one is Salesforce. So Salesforce, this one I think started to sideways, coming out of this short-term channel over here, sideways and above the 5 and 10 AMA. So I think possibly some slight rebound. In terms of resistance, probably around 290 will be a short-term resistance. Like the 200-day MA as well as this breakdown of a support level over here around 292 or 293 in the past. Yeah, so if it does rebound to this level, we might see a bit of resistance again. Then maybe trade sideways afterwards. Okay, the next one is Moderna. Moderna, I think overall still trading within this falling wedge over here. Recently a bit of a sideways. So I think still need to see whether price need to get above the moving average stop, which is the current resistance probably around 34, right? I think around 34 is a key resistance for now. So need to see price can get above this, then we might see some further rebound towards the next resistance around 36. Yeah, but for now, I think maybe still a bit weak and as it's below the moving averages, and then previously was holding above it but consolidated. Then there was a breakdown, I think around Tuesday last week. So currently still a bit weak for now. So if this continues, then we might see it gradually come towards the key support over here again, 30, around 30. So I think over here looks for now still quite range bound but mostly between $30 to 36 is the key area. Yeah, so I think as long as below the moving averages, I think we still see a bit of weakness. Then next one is Novo Nordisk. So Novo Nordisk, this one, this got a lot of gaps, so a bit hard to predict as well. I think because of it's a very news-based counter. This one, yeah, just trading sideways for now looks like dip 74 to 81. Let me switch to the weekly, see whether I can find anything. And in terms of weekly wise, still quite a weak trend because it's still below the 5 and 10 moving averages, so below 20, and these are below the 20s. And currently it's holding around $78 this level. So if there's a breakdown below this level, like 70 of 75, then we might see some further weakness again in terms of the weekly. Yeah, the next support level probably around 71, I think, for Novo Nordisk. Yeah, so this I think, yeah, so maybe a bit sideways, but need to hold 75. If not, we might see lower lows. Okay, then next one for is Adobe. Adobe's after the results sell down, starting to turn a bit sideways, trying to form a higher low around 380. Still some resistance from the 5 MA as well as horizontal levels like 395 about 10. So I think this one, it might try to go upwards, but I think we're still likely to face some resistance. Close to 403, which is the gap down opening price around there. Then you have the 10-day MA as well. So, and previously this was like a support breakdown. So overall, it's also in the downtrend. So I would expect maybe some sideways at most. I think then yeah, for maybe some sideways and most of the time being with key resistance above 403. Yeah. Then if it breaks like 380, then we could maybe see some lower lows to retest the 374. Yeah, so that's it for now. Just moving sideways over now for now. Okay, then some of the other counters is uh GameStop, Datadog, and iBio. Okay, for GameStop, I think in terms of the short-term momentum, I think starting to pick up a little bit because the price is above the 5-day MA as well, and they currently above 20-day MA. Also currently above the breakdown level of 24.50 lah. I think pre-market is up, also gapping up now. So we might see a bit of a push up. I think if it continues this short-term momentum, next resistance probably around 26.30. I think 26.30 was like this breakdown level in the past. Then the next key one up was 28.70 lah. So that's for GameStop. I think there's also earnings coming out this around the start of this week as well. So I think that will affect price afterwards. Okay, next one is Teladoc Health. For Teladoc, yeah, this one I think short term still be a weakness at since the sell down over here is still below the 5 and 10 MAs, which are holding as resistance. Currently is around 840s to 860 around there. Also below a bit of the breakdown level over here at 840. So I think we need to try to climb above 860 there and see a bit of strength, but also above that, also a bit of resistance. Still quite a lot of resistance at $9, which was breakdown over here at 20-day MA as well. So I think the most it could do is maybe a bit of range between like like currently 850 to maybe $9, a bit of range around there. Yeah, for the short term. Then if it breaks below the 5-day lows like 790, then it might continue lower towards maybe like 710. Yeah, so towards the previous range support area over here. Okay, then for iBio, okay, the volume is very low, I think. It's few hundred thousands. So I'm not sure whether the take will be very useful, but from what I see right now is a bit of the pullback wave after this pump over here on the high volume, then it just died off. Trend line, maybe there could be maybe in this channel, could be maybe this channel over here. So yeah, some resistance, I think short term, probably around 490 to $5. Then support, maybe it comes down lower. I think like this 380 level, previous consolidation level will be a good support. So I think for now, possibly just still trading within this downward channel itself. Don't think too much. Okay, then I'll talk about next question is on GE Healthcare and Carrier Global. Yeah, so for GE Aerospace, I think this one, for now, generally the trend is range bound, but I think it's still holding up well in this year among some, compared to some of the other counters. Just mostly range between 191 to 207. So coming back, for now, I think I'm more positive for this because price 194, there was a breakdown over here, but it took it just for a few days, then recover back up. So yeah, so this could be a possible bear trap. Then I think also above the moving averages for now. So I think most likely will come back to test this 207 to 212 range resistance again. It might consolidate a while longer, but if there's a breakout, I think it could break out higher because it's still holding up pretty well. Okay, then for GE Healthcare, this one is looking a bit weaker. So for GE Healthcare, there was a breakdown of $83.50 over here, still below some of the moving average. Because like for now, resistance probably around close to 82.80, which is the highs of last week at the 10 MA level. Support wise, I think we'll still hold around this $80, which was this previous range consolidation resistance now, and also a bit of a double bottom, I think, for now. So it looks like for now is probably a bit of range between $80 to 82, 80, I think. Maybe just consolidate a bit of range in the short term. Yeah, but still a bit of weakness as long as below 83.50, which is the breakdown level. So downtrend, but maybe a bit of a consolidation for the time being. Then for Carrier Global, I think this one quite range bound. Yeah, just sideways, largely range between 63 to 68. Um, so possibly a bear trap over here where there was one day below $63, but recovered very fast. So and a bit of higher lows in the past, higher lows recently. So if you can continue this, I think I'm more towards bullish bias. As long as you can continue the higher lows trend. Then if you can break over 60, then I think we could see towards like $70 this resistance again. So for now, maybe still consolidation, but if there's an upside break there, I think it could test $70 again. The next counter is on Surf Robotics. So Surf Robotics, I think this one has came down quite a bit and most currently looking a bit sideways. So I think key support over here, the swing low in the past around 630 will still likely to hold, then with a bit of resistance at $8 for now. Yeah. Then in terms of moving averages, you can see the MA is also holding its resistance like 720, there's the MA resistance, then above that is $8. So most likely for now, I think sideways range most probable for Surf. The next question is on DRIV and CLOU. For DRIV, this one the range bound, but still holding support 22, resistance 23. So yeah, I think no, this one you see whether it can break. Most likely still range, but you can break over 23. Then it could go on to a little bit higher to like 23.60 perhaps. That's the next resistance. Yeah, so that's for the DRIV. Then for CLOU, the cloud computing ETF, I think this one is in terms of the short-term momentum, I think similar to the indices, starting to trade outside of the downtrend channel, moving to a bit more sideways pattern. So I think possibly we could see some short-term bounce, some resistance probably around 22.50 onwards, and then 23.20 will be the next resistance. I think that's for the CLOU, 20 MA as well as the previous horizontal breakdown time to resistance for this counter. Okay, then next question is on ICE, all and OutFi. Okay, ICE is Intercontinental Exchange. Okay, this counter is also quite nice. The uptrend is still quite solid this year. 167 resistance support. Yeah, and some short-term resistance was the retest of around 175 on Friday. But I think I'm still positive on this higher highs, higher lows being formed. If you can break above 175 again, I think we'll most likely see higher highs ahead. Yeah, then in terms of short-term resistance, let me try to find. Maybe it could come from like a possible trend line over here. Yeah, so you can break over 175. I think possibly next reason close to 180 perhaps. Yeah, for AC. Okay, next one is Allstate. For Allstate, this one touched the swing high resistance at around 207 last week. Attempted twice, but still can't close above it on Friday. So I think this one still okay, but maybe just needs to consolidate a bit longer perhaps, yeah, until you can close above this level. Some short-term supports, I think still likely hold this 202 and 204 around this area. So maybe if you still below 20, like 208, then maybe still a bit of consolidation first. But overall, still okay lah. Because previously it was consolidating over here, then there was a breakout, higher highs, higher lows, another range being formed. So still quite nice overall, but I think this counter likes to consolidate quite a bit. So from what it looks in the past, so maybe another consolidation could be taking place over here for now. But as long as the previous recent still hold as support, I think still the uptrend is still maintaining quite. Then for OpFi this one also very low volume counter. Yeah, so for this, just if not sure if the technicals can hold, but looking in terms of the short-term movement, I think we could see a bit of a bounce. Price managed to starting to form a base around $9, then also climbing above the MAs at 930 to 950. So if you can climb above last week's highs around $10, best case would be a bounce towards this key resistance around 1120, 1130 this level. Yeah, so possibly a bit of a rebound, but not sure when how much it will go. Yeah, for OpFi. Okay, hi Sharon, your question is two supports and resistance for Meta, Costco, and IBM. Yeah, okay, so for Meta, I think support will be 580 was last week. 595, I think currently. You know, resistance I would think probably six around 625 to 630 this area. Then higher than that, I think probably won't reach this week. I think probably around 655 is the next key resistance. Yeah, so that's for Meta. For Costco, I think this one support probably the recent lows around 804. And next support level downwards probably lower level around 872. Resistance wise, I think possibly around 924, then 944. Yeah. Okay, then for IBM resistance wise probably for now 247, then 255 I think. Then support wise probably at around close to 235, then next support around 227. It fills some of the gaps. Okay, then I'll move on to there's some questions on the Hong Kong as well. So first one is on Ping An 2318. So Ping An Insurance, I think I still like the chart. Key resistance is like 51.20 over here. So you can see tested three times as well. But good thing is that the slow and steady up wave over here, then there was a consolidation. Currently pullback towards this resistance. I think will hold as support. And for now, the around 47.90 hold as a bit of support. So I think over here we might do another consolidation as long as continue to hold the higher lows, especially like the 46.30 this level. I think it's still okay lah. Yeah, most likely still maintaining the slow and steady up wave. Yeah, possibly there's also an upward trend line support over here also. And so when I look at this counter, it makes me think of the Hang Seng this at the start of this year when it haven't really moved up. Yeah, so let me see for Hang Seng. Okay, I'm not sure why my lines haven't come out, but overall, yeah, you can see over here, Ping An for like now it's a bit severe. There was a key resistance between 1,000. It tested three times. Then afterwards, there was a move upwards. So there was a consolidation phase over here for Hang Seng. So that's what I feel that for Ping An might be taking place right now. If you can break above this 52, then it could go quite fast upwards, I think. Okay, then next one is 1299, which is AIA. For AI, think this one it's This one is losing a bit of strength, I feel like. Previously it was moving quite nice, trending along the MAs, especially the 10 MA was holding it. Then it started to consolidate sideways. Still okay, but with 61, like $61 was an important support level that it should have held. But there was a sell down on increased volume last Friday, and today is also below that. So if it continue to remain below 61.50, I think then we might see some weakness now for AIA, I think. Towards the next support level, I think it's around $58. I think around here will be next support. Yeah, so a bit of a break of the higher low trend recently, Thursday. So I think possibly we might see some slight further retracement. If you cannot break above 61.50, then I think some further weakness now for AIA. Okay, then next question is Yangzijiang Shipbuilding. For Yangzijiang Shipbuilding, I think this one still more bearish towards it. Still below this upward support line, which was very strong support in the past, still holding as resistance. So this 248 as well as this swing highs around 251, I think still quite a lot of resistance. It might be doing like a bear flag consolidation. So after the strong down wave, 224 to maybe like 250 over here might be just a short-term consolidation that it might be holding. So I think this reason will still hold a bit over here. So support-wise, short-term wise is looking a bit better as it climbs above the 5 and 10 MA resistance. So short-term support be around 235 to 238, this area, which was a consolidation last week before the Friday move upwards. Yeah, so if you can hold this level, it will be better to try to there could be a chance to try to break the resistance upwards. But if it fails below 235, especially, I think we could revert back downwards towards 224. Yeah, so that's for Yangzijiang, probably in the range for now. Yeah. Then okay, then there's a question on SPY. XLF I went through just now. SPY, yeah, for S&P. So I think we could be seeing a bit of a recovery this week. Yeah. So 565 was a support level, and there was a bit of resistance. But in terms of short-term momentum, I think we are seeing a bit of a higher low at this 557 level, also closing above the 5 and 10 AME. So I think we could see some slight rebound upwards. So it could to test maybe like 575 as a bit of resistance. 575. Some short-term resistance for now will be 570. This 20-day MA and the 200-day MA. So yeah, 575 I think would be a level that you could test above 570. Yeah, maybe some short-term rebound, then you could resume the downwards move again for the SPY. Okay, hi Busion, your counters are MSTR, CCL, and Palantir. Yeah, so for MSTR, I think this one a bit of a range for now. Maybe testing this is a trend line as well as a swing high around 319. So over here 319, I think could still have a bit of resistance. There might be some sell down over here from some resistance, but I think support from the recent trend, I think could still maintain a higher lows recently. So this if it comes back down to like to fill the gap over here, right? 30 like 306. Then I think this, because 306, this level was like the highs of for past 3 days, I think it could maintain a bit of support. If as long as Bitcoin still maintains the momentum, yeah, then I think you might do a bit of consolidation over here. Yeah, if it breaks above 320 again, I think the next key resistance to look out for probably around 343. I think. So this was a swing high. Then also there's also this trend line resistance, another trend line resistance upwards for MicroStrategy. So I think these are the levels I'm looking at. Then for CCL, I think yeah, tested the support $19, seeing a bit of rebound. And I think Yeah, so the key resistance, some resistance is at this 2150, which is a 20-day MA tested for 2 days. If can break above this level today, I think we could see some further rebound upwards. Yeah. So next resistance could be from resistance could be like closer to 2250 to 2340, this area. So possibly from this downtrend resistance line as well as a previous support breakdown. Yeah, so that's for CCL. Maybe some slight further bounce if you can break through the last week's highs. For Palantir, I think Palantir is sideways. So looking a bit better. So there was like a bear trap below this $80 breakdown, recovered upwards. Then price was holding above the 5 and 10-day moving averages. And the key reasons was the $90. I think this week can go above. I think it could test the closer to $100 would be the key reason that will still hold as a sorry, I mean I think it could still move higher. Then test like the $100 previous support that could act as a bit of resistance for now. So a bit of a possibly a bit of a rebound with for Palantir. Okay, hi, Su Yi. Your counters are Xiaomi, Tencent, and Bank of China. Okay, Xiaomi, I think is still one of the strongest counters in the Hong Kong exchange for now. I think for what I feel is doing an ascending triangle consolidation. So so it looks like this. Still higher lows towards the resistance at this 57, sorry, 58.70. Still holding 20-day MA as well as over here. So I think still okay as they maintain, as long as it maintains along here, as support at 55. I think there could still be a chance of a break above this 58.70 now for Xiaomi. Yeah. But if there's a breakdown below this level, like the 20-day MA as well as this trendline support, then we might see some slight weakness towards 51 over here, 51, 52. So I think this is, yeah. But for now, still more towards bullish. Because I see some of the counters, uh, like it's not as strong as Xiaomi. So this one is one of the latest. So this one's still holding up quite well. The next one is Tencent. So for Tencent, this one is still holding up pretty well also. Like currently it's still holding the 20-day MA, which was like previously around here, then also resistance 512 still holding as support. So I think as long tomorrow need to if there's a green, need to come with a green candle so then it can maintain this short-term momentum. Then you might go on to test this 544 range resistance again. If there's a breakdown below like 505 again, which tested 2 times in the past 2 days, then we might see some further weakness ahead. So I think for now it's also it's quite critical. I think need to see whether this support level can hold to maintain this short-term momentum. Yeah, then for Bank of China, yeah, for Bank of China, I think this one's still overall a very strong trend. Yeah, price is still maintaining about in this channel itself. I think as long as it's going to hold this 4.58, also the 20-day MA, I think then I think still could be maintaining this strong trend. Mostly trading within this uptrend trend itself. Okay, hi James, your Honda COP, ISRG, and SPGI. Okay, COP is ConocoPhillips. ConocoPhillips, And this one recovery above 95, then come to this resistance again. Probably like third time is testing this 100 around $101.78 resistance. Yeah, you might do a bit of a sideways over here. So because this is a resistance level, but if you can hold higher lows, like preferably around 99.50, also 10-day MA, then I think it could move higher. Towards the next resistance, like $105 lah. They might consolidate afterwards. Yeah, so now is at this another test of this recently to see whether it can best is maintain above the 5-day MA. Then they will show a lot of strength. Yeah, so that's for Kodoku Phillips. Then for ISRG, I think this one, yeah, it just been moving sideways between 478, some support recently, but also starting to look a bit better with close over 5 to 10 MA levels. So I think the cap up now, we could see some slight rebound towards maybe like 518 this 519 this resistance over here. Then it's the 20-day moving will just come down. So the 519, yeah, this will be a 519, this will be a resistance, I think, from the previous breakdown level over here. So it might turn into be more sideways kind of thing in the short term. Okay, then for SPGI, this one is very strong support at 478 rebounding. Then I think we could see some slight further rebound towards like the some levels like close to 500 to 510. There was a breakdown over here as well as what the 20-day MA level. So this could be the it allows time to do a rebound, but this 500 to 510 should be a short-term resistance over here. Then it might do some consolidation over here. Yeah, for the S&P Global. Okay, then there's a question on the three Singapore banks. So I'll talk about DBS, OCBC, UOB. So for DBS, this one a bit of a rebound, but I think overall it's still below this uptrend channel breakpoint over here. So I'm expecting some resistance from like 45.80 to this 46.30 over here. So yeah, there might be a real reason. I think for short term could be trading sideways. As long as still holding 45, then still okay. But if it goes below 45 again, then I think we could see it try to go down to test the 44 level again. Yeah, so for now it's a bit sideways for now. Then for UOB today tested the rising wedge breakdown level over here. So I also this was previously like a very strong consolidation $38.20 level. There was a breakdown. So I think this 38.20, 38.30 will be some resistance for UOB. This one a bit weaker than DBS. So this one, if it breaks below the like 37.50, then I think we might see it go towards like lower towards like 37.30 or lower. Yeah. Then for OCBC, this one a bit similar to DBS in terms of the price action, still maintaining better, but I will expect a resistance above like 17.20 to about 17.30 over here because this consolidation. Yeah, so that's for OCBC. And see the banks make up quite a big portion of the STI, right? In terms of STI, also for now it's quite near the resistance again, 3950. So we might see a bit of sideways kind of take place over here. Yeah, then but if it maintains about 3,100, then it's still okay. Yeah, so maybe some sideways for now. Okay, then Suki or some questions is Fraser's Centerpoint Trust FCT. So FCT, I think this one it's probably sideways for the short term after this rally over here above the 217 resistance, holding support. Then I think most likely this reason 224, yeah, from this previous swing high. So most likely just sideways for a while after this rally. Yeah, just consolidation. Okay, I'll take two more questions. I think about 9:15. Okay, so for CapitaLand Integrated Commercial Trust SCT, this one is also one of the stronger ones, so just consolidation, also most likely. Yeah, so last week we tested like 207, this 10 MA and do a bit of rebound. Short-term reasons will be the recent high 21214 to 216 area. So I'm expecting a bit of sideways consolidation now with support still holding for now, probably around 209 level. Yeah, then for AJBU, it's Capital DC REITs. Okay, for Capital DC, I think for now it's looks sideways as well since the breakout of this downward resistance line price move upwards. Then currently just moving sideways with support 216 and around the 5 and 10 AVs over here. So maybe just sideways resistance still likely to hold around 225, this very strong resistance level here. So that's probably sideways consolidation. Then I think there's some REIT counters, some other REIT counters questions also, but I think apologies I don't have enough time to answer all of them, but I think I just draw reference to the REIT index, which is this IHS REIT index. Okay, look at this if you want to see how strong an index is lah. So for now, SP index, I think it's close to the 1028 key resistance over here. So I would say probably it might for now, I think the room for upside in the short term, probably not much. I think probably just sideways in the short term. But as long as still above 1000 this level, then I think still okay. Probably just moving sideways. Okay, then I think I'll just take one last one about on the question on how to identify bull flag and bear flag. Yeah, so for bull flag and bear flag, it's the same kind of thing. It's a consolidation, but the difference is happens and in terms of the primary trend. So I think for example of a bear flag, I feel for now it's probably S&P. So for bear flag, what I want to see is like a strong down wave over here first, and then when there's because how the bear flag is being formed is that the selling won't be taking place forever, like won't be every day down. So the bear flag is like when a period of consolidation, when buyers try to beat the price upwards again, then there could be like around this 45-degree angle, this flag movement upwards. So it might be just trading upwards again until the sellers can try to beat the price down again outside of this flag. Yeah, so like for bear flag will be we'll see a down wave first, then followed by a small rebound. Then yeah, that's for a possible bear flag when you see a channel that's around 45 degrees upwards. And then for bull flag, I can't think of any right now, but maybe like Joe Energy. I think something possible is like when you see an up wave over here with you need to see an up wave, and the bullish flag is usually like you see a sideways consolidation at lower volume that's still holding a higher low, or you see something like or you normally another pattern is like you see like this this 45-degree downwards. Yeah, then on lower volume, then if there's a breakout again, then that will most likely continue the upwards move. So that's the bull flag is opposite of the bear flag in terms of the direction of the flag. It will be opposite of the primary move. Yeah, so that hopes it answers your question. Okay, sorry, I can't answer all your questions in view of time. I have to end the session today. I'll stop sharing my screen. Okay, let me just share the feedback form for today and the link to join the community group. Okay, let me just give me a moment, drop in the chat. Yeah, so okay, so if you have any feedback about today's session, feel free to fill out the survey form in the link I'll drop it in the chat. Also, if you're new today, welcome. Feel free to join the PhillipCapital community on TA. If you haven't, you can download the app using this link and can there's a lot of community groups over there. Then if you have any TA question to ask, you can drop a question over there. I'll take it under the TA section. Then also, if you're new, feel free to join the Poems Telegram group at Poems TA as well. And feel free to drop any question, then I'll answer it when I see it. So for these two groups, I'll post like some content also time to time. Yeah, so I think that's all for today's session. Appreciate for your questions and your high attendance. I think it's always a very good TA session talking about all these counters. Before you, there's quite a lot of events this week. I think, yeah, it will be a very important week again, as with every week. And I hope all you have a safe trading week ahead, and good luck. And I see you all again next month. Next week there will be no webinar because it's Hari Raya holiday. Yeah, so I think that's all for today. Thanks everyone. Bye bye.